Is your mind a stormy ocean when you lay your head down? Are you tired of being tired? The ancient secret to true deep sleep is not what you think. It is something you prepare, something you drink, but its most powerful ingredient is revealed only at the very end. Stay for that final life-changing truth. Unquiet mind. There is a question that comes to us in the quiet hours of the night. A question many of us face, especially as we gather more seasons in our life. Why is it that the body can be so heavy with exhaustion, yet the mind refuses to find the shore of sleep? It is a strange contradiction. You feel the physical need for rest, the ache in the muscles, the weight behind the eyes, yet the mind is like a restless child in a quiet room. It races, it turns, it replays conversations from yesterday, it rehearses worries for tomorrow. It travels back through decades of memory and then leaps forward into anxieties that have not yet come to pass. And the body, which is always listening to the mind, cannot settle. It is held in this state of alert, this gentle internal vibration of unrest. We call this a problem of sleep, but it is not. It is a problem of a mind that has not been taught how to be still. It is a mind that has forgotten its own nature. You see, for many years, for a whole lifetime, the mind has been trained to do, to achieve, to solve, to protect. This is its function, and it is a good function during the daytime when we must navigate the world. But at night, its job is to surrender, to let go, to become quiet so that the body can do its most important work, the work of healing, of restoring, of balancing itself. When we cannot sleep, it is a sign that the mind is trying to do the action of sleeping. But sleep cannot be done. It cannot be chased or captured. Sleep is a state of being you must allow to arrive. It is like trying to see your reflection in turbulent water. The more you stir the water, trying to force the reflection to be clear, the more distorted it becomes. The only way to see the reflection clearly is to allow the water to become still. It is exactly the same with your mind. Your attempt to try to sleep is the very action that keeps you awake. The restlessness you feel is often an accumulation. It is not just the worry from one day. It is the collected energy of years. Every unresolved emotion, every stressful experience, every moment of fear or anger that was not fully processed and released, it remains within us as a kind of subtle energetic signature. At night, when the distractions of the world fall away, when the phone is not ringing and the television is off, there is only silence. And into this silence, these unresolved energies begin to speak. They rise to the surface of our awareness. This is why the night can feel so loud, even in a perfectly quiet house. The noise is not external, it is internal. We are wrestling with the ghosts of our own unprocessed life. We believe we need a pill or a technique to silence this noise, but what we truly need is a way to listen to it with compassion and allow it to pass through us to finally be at peace. The sleeplessness is a symptom, a messenger telling us that something inside needs our gentle attention. This is a challenge that becomes more apparent as we grow older, because there is simply more life to process. There are more memories, more responsibilities, more experiences layered one on top of the other. The library of the mind is vast. And so at night, the mind is simply trying to sort through this library. This is not a malfunction. It is the mind's nature. The issue arises when we become entangled in the stories it shows us. We pick up a book of regret and read it cover to cover. We pick up a book of future fears and we believe every word. We have lost the ability to simply be the librarian, to observe the books without having to read them all. The skill we need to cultivate is not one of forcing the library to close, but of learning to sit quietly within it, acknowledging the stories without becoming lost in them. This is the first step toward reclaiming our peace and, by extension, our sleep. It begins with understanding that the turmoil is not a flaw in your design, but an unaddressed need of a busy, lifelong mind. Nature's clock. Our bodies are not separate from the world around us. We are born of this earth, and within us is a deep, ancient connection to its cycles and its rhythms. Think of a great old tree. It does not fight the seasons. In spring, it bursts with life. In summer, it reaches for the sun. In autumn, it gracefully lets go of its leaves. and in winter it rests. It draws its energy deep into its roots and enters a profound state of quiet stillness, gathering strength for the year to come. There is no anxiety in this process. It is a natural unfolding, a surrender to the rhythm of life. We too have this internal clock, this deep-seated rhythm that is tied to the rising and setting of the sun, to the light and the dark. It is our natural inheritance, but we have built a world that actively encourages us to ignore it. We live in a perpetual state of summer with bright lights that conquer the darkness and screens that emit a synthetic daylight long after the sun has gone to rest. This artificial light tells our body on a very deep and biological level that it is still daytime. It disrupts the delicate dance of hormones that signals the time for rest and repair. The body becomes confused. It is tired, yet the signals it receives from our environment say, stay awake, be alert, it is not yet time. So the mind continues to operate in its daytime mode, analytical, active, and engaged. We have broken our covenant with the night. We have forgotten that darkness is not an enemy to be defeated with electricity, but a necessary friend, a cradle for our recovery. For our ancestors, darkness was a clear and unmistakable signal to slow down, to gather together, to be still. It was a time for stories, for quiet connection, not for more stimulation, not for more information. To find our way back to deep sleep, we must first find our way back to this natural rhythm. We must relearn how to honor the coming of the night as a sacred time for retreat and quiet. This is not a complicated task, though it requires conscious intention in our modern world. It is about creating a gentle transition, a tapering of energy. Just as the sun does not instantly vanish from the sky but slowly, beautifully descends, so too should our day descend into night. An hour or two before you wish to sleep, begin to dim the lights in your home. Turn off the bright overhead lights and use a soft, warm lamp instead. Put away the screens, the television, the computer, the phone. These devices are fountains of stimulating, blue-toned light that shout daytime to your brain. To stare at a screen just before trying to sleep is like shouting at a flower to go back to being a seed. You are sending a message that is in direct opposition to the natural process you wish to occur. Instead of consuming more information, allow your senses to rest. Perhaps listen to some calm, quiet music, or simply enjoy the silence. Allow yourself to feel this transition in your body. Let your movements become slower, more deliberate. You can engage in some very gentle stretching, not to exert yourself, but simply to release the physical tension held from the day. Feel your feet on the floor. Pay attention to your breath as it moves in and out. This is a process of down-regulating the nervous system. You are guiding your body and mind out of the fight or flight state of daytime activity and into the rest and digest state of nighttime peace. This practice, this gentle unwinding, is far more powerful than any sleeping aid because it is not an artificial imposition. It is a restoration of your own innate biological wisdom. You are resynchronizing your inner clock with the great clock of the universe. You are remembering that you are a part of nature, and in aligning with its rhythms, you will find a deep and profound sense of peace that is the perfect foundation for restorative sleep. Finding center. When we speak of sleep, we often focus only on the physical body, but our being is not just flesh and bone. At our core, we have a center, a place of profound stillness and stability. It is like the eye of a hurricane. All around, the winds of thoughts and emotions may swirl, but at the very center, there is perfect calm. The reason we struggle to sleep is because we live our lives out in the storm. We have forgotten how to find our way back to the center. The mind spins, the emotions churn, and the body, caught in this whirlwind, cannot find rest. So the journey to sleep is not about silencing the storm. You cannot command the winds to stop. The journey is about learning to locate and abide in your center, right in the midst of the storm. Once you are resting in that quiet center, the storm no longer has power over you. It can continue to blow, but it cannot disturb your peace. You can watch it without being swept away. How do we find this center? It is not located in a specific place in the body, and yet it is felt throughout the body. It is a state of being, of presence. The simplest way to begin this journey inward is through the breath. The breath is the most magical and mysterious process. It is both voluntary and involuntary. You can control it, and yet it continues even when you pay it no attention. It is the bridge between our conscious mind and our unconscious body. It is the anchor that can hold us steady in the turbulent waters of our thoughts. When your mind is racing at night, do not fight with the thoughts. Do not scold yourself for being awake. That is like adding more wind to the storm. Instead, gently, with great kindness, shift your attention away from the content of the thoughts and onto the physical sensation of your breathing. Simply feel the air entering your nostrils. Notice the coolness of it. Follow its path down into your lungs. Feel the gentle expansion of your belly and your chest as you inhale. Then feel the gentle release as you exhale. Do not try to change your breathing. Do not force it to be deeper or slower. Simply observe it as it is. Let your breath be your guide, leading you out of the maze of your mind and into the simple reality of the present moment. Each time you notice your mind has wandered back into a story, a worry, a memory, and it will, many, many times, do not be discouraged. This is the nature of the mind. See this as an opportunity. Each time you notice you have drifted away, you have a chance to practice gentleness. Without judgment, simply acknowledge where the mind went, and then kindly, softly, guide your attention back to the sensation of the breath, in and out. The thought is just a cloud passing in the sky. Your breath is the sky itself, always present, always still, behind the movement of the clouds. This practice of finding your center can be done not only when you are lying in bed, but throughout your day. You can practice it for a few moments while waiting for water to boil, while standing in a line, while sitting at a red light. Each time you consciously bring your awareness back to your breath, you are strengthening the muscle of your attention. You are creating a well-worn path back to your inner stillness. Then at night, when the mind is at its most active, the path is familiar. It is easier to walk. Finding your center is not about emptying the mind, which is an impossible task. It is about becoming comfortable with the mind's activity, learning to see it not as you, but as a process happening within you. You are the still awareness in which the thoughts and feelings arise and pass away. By rooting yourself in this awareness, through the simple anchor of the breath, you find a peace that is unshakable, a quiet harbor where the ship of your body can finally drop its anchor and rest. Settling energy. In the wisdom of ancient traditions, there is an understanding of the body's life force, an energy that flows through us like a river. You can call it chi or prana or simply vital energy. When this energy is balanced, smooth and harmonious, we feel healthy, calm and vibrant. But when it becomes agitated, blocked or stagnant, it can manifest as physical or emotional distress, including the inability to sleep. When you feel restless at night with a racing heart or a feeling of being wired but tired, it is often a sign that your energy is agitated and stuck in the upper parts of your body, in your head and chest. It is like the steam in a kettle that has built up pressure and needs to find a way to release and settle. The energy of the day, the stress, the thinking, the constant mental activity has risen upward and has not been guided back down to be stored and replenished in the body's energetic center in the lower abdomen. Sleep requires this energy to be calm, grounded, and rooted. So, one of the most practical and profound things we can do before sleep is to encourage this energy to settle. We need to help it descend from the busy mind and reconnect with the quiet, stable foundation of the body. There are simple, gentle ways to do this that do not require great effort. A wonderfully effective practice is to soak your feet in a basin of warm water. The warmth on the feet naturally draws the energy downwards, away from the overactive brain. As you soak your feet, you can bring your full attention to the sensation. Feel the warmth of the water, the feeling of release in your ankles and calves. You are not just soaking your feet, you are performing a conscious act of grounding yourself, of inviting your life force to come back home to the earth. It is a simple ritual that sends a powerful signal to your entire system. The day is over, it is time to release, it is time to rest. Another way to guide this energy downwards is through your intention and awareness. After you have settled into bed, You can place your hands gently on your lower abdomen, a couple of inches below your navel. This is considered a primary energy center in many traditions. As you breathe, imagine that your breath is not just filling your lungs, but is traveling all the way down into your belly, into this center, underneath your hands. Imagine a small warm ball of light in this area. With each inhalation, you gather the scattered, restless energy from your mind and your chest. And with each exhalation, you gently guide it down into this warm center. You can visualize the energy settling there, becoming heavier, warmer, and more peaceful with each breath. You are using the power of your mind not to create more stories and worries, but to consciously and lovingly guide your own inner state. This is not a forceful process. It is one of gentle invitation. You are coaxing your energy to settle, not commanding it. The key is a feeling of allowing and letting go. Let go of the tension in your jaw, your shoulders, your forehead. With each exhalation, imagine the tension melting away, flowing down through your body and out through the soles of your feet into the earth. You are like a tree letting its energy sink deep into its roots for the night. This practice of settling your energy helps to calm the nervous system, slow the heart rate, and create a profound sense of physical and mental tranquility. You are harmonizing the flow of your own life force, creating the perfect inner conditions for your body to do what it naturally knows how to do, to fall into a deep and healing sleep, cradled by the grounded, peaceful energy you have cultivated within yourself. Mindful ritual. Now we arrive at the question from the very beginning. What is this special thing you can drink, this liquid that can guide you into deep sleep? The secret, you see, is not found in one specific magical ingredient. While many gentle herbs can be helpful, the true power is not in the what, but in the how. The answer is to create a mindful ritual, and the drink is merely the anchor for this ritual. It is a warm, gentle brew, but the primary ingredient is your own presence, your own focused and loving attention. The act of preparing and drinking this beverage becomes a moving meditation, a final, beautiful gesture to close your day and prepare the temple of your body and mind for rest. It is a ritual of self-care, a declaration that you are worthy of this peace and this quiet time. Choose a simple, calming herbal infusion. Something like chamomile is wonderful, or perhaps jujube fruit tea, which has been used for centuries to calm the spirit, or a few slices of ginger with a little honey to warm the stomach. The specific recipe is less important than the quality of the plants, natural, simple, and caffeine-free. The ritual begins with the preparation. Do not rush this. Approach it with the same quiet deliberation as a monk performing a tea ceremony. Listen to the sound of the water as you fill the kettle. Watch the steam begin to rise. As you place the herbs in your cup, take a moment to look at them, see their color, their texture, inhale their subtle fragrance. You are engaging your senses, bringing your entire being into this present moment. The worries of the day and the anxieties of the night cannot exist in a moment that is so fully occupied by the simple act of preparing tea. When you pour the hot water, listen to the sound it makes as it fills the cup. Watch as the water begins to take on the color and essence of the herbs. This is a moment of beautiful, slow transformation. Let it be a reminder that you too are transforming, shifting from your active daytime state to a quiet, receptive nighttime state. Find a peaceful place to sit with your cup. Before you drink, simply hold it in your hands. Feel its warmth. Let the heat radiate into your palms, a soothing, grounding sensation. Bring the cup toward you and inhale the steam. Let the gentle aroma calm your nervous system. In this moment, there is only you, the cup, and the warm, fragrant steam. There is nothing else to do, nowhere else to be. This is a complete and perfect moment in itself. This is the practice of stillness. Then, when you drink, do so with the same mindfulness. Do not gulp it down while thinking of something else. Take a small sip. Feel the warmth as it enters your mouth, as it travels down your throat and into your stomach. Feel that gentle, spreading warmth in the center of your body. Take another sip. Let each one be a conscious act of nourishment and self-compassion. You are not just drinking tea. You are drinking calm. You are drinking stillness. You are drinking your own intention to be at peace, The ritual transforms a simple cup of herbal water into a potent elixir for the soul. It is this mindful process, this act of pure, undistracted presence, that truly prepares you for sleep. It stills the waters of the mind and warms the core of your being, creating a state of serene readiness for the rest that awaits you. The true draft. We have walked a path together this evening. We have looked at the restless mind, the body's natural clock, the still center within, the settling of our energy, and the power of a mindful ritual. And now, at the end of this journey, we come to the final and most important understanding, the ingredient that I promised you from the very beginning. The truth is that the physical drink, the herbal tea, was never the real secret. It is a wonderful tool, a helpful guide, a beautiful companion on the path to stillness. But the true draught, the real potion that brings deep, profound sleep, is the peace you cultivate within yourself. It is the silence that exists behind your thoughts. It is the gentle compassion you offer to your own worried mind. It is the state of surrender you learn to inhabit. The cup is merely a vessel to help you remember what you already possess. The real work is not in finding the right ingredients to put in the cup. It is in cultivating the inner state that allows sleep to arise naturally. Do not seek sleep, seek stillness, and sleep will find you. I'm 68 and I haven't slept through the night in almost 20 years. I've tried everything. Last night I didn't just make a cup of chamomile tea. I performed the ritual you described. I slowed down. I felt the warmth. I just was present. I have no idea if it was the tea or the stillness, but for the first time I can remember, I woke up in the same position I fell asleep in and the sun was shining. I feel a sense of peace. Today I thought I had lost forever. I am weeping with gratitude. Thank you isn't a big enough word.